Okay guys, it's me again, Insane Gorilla. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you like this Belle What If. So this is going to be what if Belle was a warlock from Destiny. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to get this on the way. So, see you all soon. With what Belle finished saying. And obviously, to recap, Belle said he lived a lot longer than Eyes, Bet, Zavala, Ikora, and Cade, because, yeah. Let's continue with what he continues saying. Tyrivius Folder. If you forget yourself, I, Belle Crenell, lived twice as long as Eyes, Bet, Zavala, Cade, Ikora. I lived when the city wasn't even being put up, where the light first found us, where the light of the traveller brought us back to life. I was one of the first to come back. I was the one who decided to live with my new identity. But later on in my years, I found out the identity I chose for myself was my real goddamn name. The reason why I am a warlock is because I used to be a scientist in the Clovis Bray company before I left it due to their inhumane experiments. So, Folder, if you're not going to release my Lily, my sister that I see, then I swear to the Traveller back, to the Hive gods, and to the Vex Overmind, to even the Cabal Empire, and to all the fallen Kells. I will end you here. I will reclaim your ghost left you, so I can ask him to relinquish his light from you. Don't even attempt your fatal words, traitor. With, well, Bet and Eyes with Ikora, Cade and Zavala all backing off away from him for a bit, because what he just said kind of says, oh shit, so he was basically around before the Vanguard and before the city was even put into place. Yet again, he was around when the Iron Lords and the Warlords were around. So technically, he's basically the precursor to the Guardians and to the Speakers. As they see Tyrivius Folder just smirk as he would pull out a blade, as he would hold Lily to his leg, with her screaming, saying, "No, let go of me. I do not want to die." As he was Tyrivius Folder would just say, "For the Reaper," as he would quickly slash across her neck with the sharp end, as he would throw her down to the ground, as she would begin to choke and cough out blood. As, well, Tyrivius Folder would then fold out his arms as he approaches an edge of a cliff, as he would just say, my final sacrifice to the Great Reaper has been achieved. Salvation comes for me. I am God. I am Legion. I am omnificent and greater. May my life give anew. May my strength fuel my own salvation. I, Folder, or Tyrivius Folder, ask for the Great Reaper to show me the light and to give forth my just reward for the great sacrifice of the era. Hang on. Okay, what was I? Ah, yes. It's Tyrivius Folder would start maniacally laughing like a madman, as he then, falls backwards, straight off the cliff, with, Belle running up along with Eyes and Bet with Cade, Zavala, and Ikora, because I believe that Cade, Ikora, and Zavala did turn up as well in my last video. And if they didn't, these are sorry, they're here now. Let's just say they got a shuttle and immediately got out as soon as they could. But were a little delayed only for a short while due to the cult of Reaper getting involved. With, Belle running over to Lily as he grabs her, as he puts her head towards him, as the gap in her neck seals a bit as she breathes, saying, Big brother, sorry, you're too strong for us. Please, don't let me die like this. Hang on, Lily. I'll get you out of here. Believe. Stay with us. Please. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Lily. Keep your eyes open. Little sis. Come on. Please. Let me die. There's her last word. Softly exits her mouth. As Belle, as drops of rain were actually starting to hit him and Lily, as the final word leaves her lips, the rain slowly gets heavier and heavier until, 1 minute again. With the rain starting to heavily pour, it's, slowly, subtly, you can hear a bit of rumbling. Tiberius Folder rises, again maniacally laughing as his body begins to shift, as it breaks itself apart with him screaming in pain, but after a few hours, 10 minutes of him screaming in pain, he begins to laugh again as he says, "Yes, may my body become stronger in the eyes of the Great Reaper. I am now a god above the traveller. May you bow before me, whelps." As well, Bell looks up at him as he grabs his shotgun and pistol, with Bet grabbing his automatic assault rifle and rocket launcher, with Eyes grabbing her sniper rifle and, single burst rifle. As she jumps over to Bell, both of them jump to Bell, with Ikora, Ray, Savala, and Cade doing the exact same thing. As, Eyes just say, "Bell, have you got a plan?" With also Bet saying, "Yeah, come on man. If you've got a plan, you better tell us, because I don't think he's going to go down without a fight." "Here is my plan. Bell, Kit, keep out of my way." "Bell, this is a team matter." "No. Tiberius Folder just made this personal." "Bell, I know she was like a sister to you, but believe me, she was like a sister to me, but don't take this all on your—" "Shut up, Eyes. Shut up. Tiberius Folder has made a grave mistake. And now, as well, the rumbling of lightning gets louder and louder and louder as it starts, actually clapping near them, far away, as Bell continues to talk. "Because Tiberius Folder has now just killed one of the most important beings in this world for me, along with the other orphanages. Jackson, James, Louise, Lilith, Lily, all of the orphans in our orphanage. He's killed them all, and now he goes and kills the last one. I call upon the storm." Bell, please calm down. You know you can't control the storm." As, he lifts himself, shoots up into the air, as a bolt of tons of bolts of electricity hit him all at once, with him screaming, saying, "I will tear you apart, traitor of the Guardians, and betrayer of the last city. Your so-called Reaper God will never protect you against the wrath of someone who is pissed beyond all measures. You want to see yourself a god? I see you nothing as trash, as vermin that needs to be erased from history and the Guardian name you have sullied. You have long since forgotten, and I should have killed you then and there and destroyed your ghost." killing you one last time to end your lunacy before it even began. So now I am going to make sure and short work of you. As well, Tiberius Folder would laugh at him, saying, "Come then, taste the wrath of a god. You'll be the first victim of my rise." As well, him and Bell sort of go at each other with, well, everybody sort of covering their eyes from when Bell starts, well, fighting, where electricity sparks flying off of Bell, with, well, basically all of them, Zavala included, well, Cade included, along with the Vanguard and every other Vanguard unit that can see this giant clash of powers. Even in the last city, they can see the giant flash, and some of them have to cover their eyes as they hear the screams and laughter. A guy screaming in anger and a guy laughing as if he had just won the lottery. But the multi-million-pound lottery. In Guardian terms, multi-million-pound glimmer lottery. Or multi-million glimmer lottery, I should really say. If you're speaking about Destiny terms. Well, if I'm speaking about Destiny terms, I should really be saying. As Bell unleashes his rightful thunderous wrath upon this guy, as he decimates Tiberius Folder, the so-called god now of the world, with Tiberius Folder slowly realising that he has just awoken a power far more powerful than any god. As soon as he starts to realise this, the words that Bell has just said start ringing in his ears. We turn gods into guns for a meme. Well, we kill gods and turn them into guns for a meme. As all these words start echoing in Folder's mind, he starts looking back at his life as he's still getting a royal bloody spanking, basically. It's just literally a one-sided fight. He's a recently developed, well, so-called recently developed god, with god complex so massive that his ego is literally like, I have reached new levels of dickishness. But now that there's someone who has actually proven to me that me being an absolute dick to everybody, and thinking I can become this almighty god, which I have been, which I now have become, I should be able to wipe out any trash people I want. But yet, here's my warlock companion who should be with me, kicking my royal ass because I killed a girl from a pathetic orphanage that nobody will be missing. What is so special about that girl? Not realising that he actually said what's so special about that girl, as Bell loses it even further. As Bell screams at him, saying, her name is not girl, it was Lily. and she was part of an orphanage that I was running, along with my 2 fire team members. Now you've ruined everybody's lives. Those kids had futures ahead of them. Permanent futures ahead. And you stole their lives away. And you have the gall to just ask that one simple question. Now you've really made me angry. As he charges another lightning, attack, which is a little bit too big even for Bell to handle, but the rage inside of him kinda took over. And that last comment pushed him over the edge. So, in the comments, say, my friend, you think you're a god? Well, you've gone and fucked up. Please just type something in the comments saying, yeah, you fucked up. Please. Just type it in your own words. Don't, obviously, use the swear words. If at all possible, but if you can't help it, then do it. Just say, sorry, just couldn't help it. Anyway, with Tiberius Folder, final look into Bell's eyes as he sees electricity pouring out of his eye sockets, as his final breath as a god was of him disintegrating due to the power of the lightning attack that Bell sent through his body. The angry screams of him faded as soon as the lightning hit, as his body starts quite literally disintegrating from the fingers and feet to the arms and legs, to the body, to the throat, to the head. Not even his hairs on his head survived. As Bell finally lets the anger go as he drops to the floor, with quite literally Bet, Eyes, Cade, Zavala and Ikora Ray all staring at him in stunned disbelief as Bell drops to the floor, as he would just say, it is done. As he quite literally just faint, flop to the floor. As Eyes would snap out of it a lot sooner than everybody else. She would run over to him with Bet, Zavala, Cade and Ikora still being stunned at the devastation they just seen. And I think it's safe to say Bet starts clapping as Cade also does the same thing with Zavala and Ikora, only for all of a sudden, for Guardians that had saw it, they all rushed to this battleground as they saw this godlike Guardian get disintegrated by Bell. And by the way, Bell's comm unit was on, so all the Guardians heard it. He didn't even know it was on, and they'd put it on for all Guardians. So they heard everything, and they all ran towards the bright light. So they saw the entire thing. So when I was actually next to Belle, with Belle on the floor, not moving a muscle due to exhaustion, all she can hear was the countless hands slamming into each other, making clapping sounds. She rolls Belle onto his side, and she sees that his eyes are closed. She lifts him and, well, basically puts him sitting upright in between her legs, basically putting his head on her chest, basically sort of hugging him, as she whispers saying, "You did well, Belle. You did well. Rest, my friend. I promise. If there are any more orphans, I think all of us will be paying more attention next time." With eyes just saying, obviously I just said, eyes just says, "We'll protect the orphans next time if we get any." Before I have to quickly go, she would see that everybody was clapping their hands, sort of an appreciation of getting rid of the cult and its leader, as she still, holds on to Belle. Eventually, she fully gets up and sort of carries him. Kind of bridal style, but obviously for a woman holding a man. So she carries him all the way back to the last city, with Bet, Ikora, Cade, Zavala, all the other guardians sort of standing to one side as they clap, like in celebratory clapping, as they all then walk alongside Eyes, as she obviously takes Belle back to the city, as she goes into, not really the orphanage, because it'll hold a lot of bad memories, but she takes him, she actually buys a house for all three of them, for Bet, Belle, and herself. Obviously, it's like houses on the edges of the city, inside the walls, as they're all actually next to each other. And the city is pretty big, so there are buildings ready to go. And she personally makes sure Belle has all the requirements that he needed, like books upon books if he wants to read, a place to shower, a bath himself, should have a shower or a bath, whichever, basic toiletries, everything. Hell, she even got him some new warlock robes, if he ever needed them. Which, I will admit, she even got herself. And, she made sure that Bet also made sure he got himself some new Titan gear. But she spends the first few weeks checking in on Belle to see if he's awake, sometimes even staying at his to make sure he is okay, which does sort of make Bet kind of tease her a bit because she's so worried about Belle all of a sudden. Which Bet secretly hides that he is also worried as well because Belle hasn't woken up. They thought he'll just wake up after a few days. No. Weeks go by and he's still unconscious. That's when Eyes just says, looks like he's in a coma, so he'll be out most probably for either weeks on end or months on end. All the way up to a bloody year. As Bet sort of nods to himself, as they, do their guardian duties. They do missions here and there. They kind of had to get a new guy, or a new lass to be precise, to kind of complete their fire team, at least until Belle's up and running again, because he is literally the local wizard lizard, who is, in all intents and purposes, he's a little bit O-fucking-P. So, yeah. If a guardian can suddenly vaporise one of their own comrades to where even the light can't even bring them back, even though the ghosts most probably can do that. Yeah. If a ghost has actually abandoned its partner / guardian, you can guarantee that the guardian that is no longer a guardian is going to have a very, very short lifespan, around about of 2 seconds in the wild, because everything will be out to get you, fallen included. So yeah, ouch. With the with all of that going on, the new warlock named, she's not going to have a name because she ain't going to be important. We'll just call her Gemma. There you go. Gemma the Warlock. There you go. She is not to the efficiency as Belle. She is so inefficient. Instead of Belle being the local wizard lizard in their group, which put their group fire team to the fame, think of Art Guardian when you play the Destiny games, of how much of a god tier he basically seems whenever you play Destiny. How your fire team that you make, and you most probably stick with the same people who became the part of the fire team, and you'll stick around, you'll be friends on the PS4, Xbox One, or Xbox X, or the PS5 if you got one, or hell, even the PC. Your guardians, think of them in this story as well, and think of how efficient all of you can be when you work together. You have that deep trust for each other. You don't go around dealing damage just all willy-nilly. You come up with a plan to deal with the bosses. So obviously you're going to have to shoot them anyway, but you've got to have plans for when their minions turn up. You take it in turns putting damage on the enemy. Or if you're like me, you just go fucking solo, which I do. Even when I was trying to battle Crota on Destiny 1, I went at it solo. wish I didn't. I got certain sharp objects sticked up the typical rear end. Because I didn't go at it with a 16 fireman, well, a 16 people fire team. That hurt. That hurt a lot. Yeah. I didn't try it ever again. And I'm being honest with you. I'm not doing it again. Anyway. Really? Anyway. So yeah. Bell is like... Bell, the literal one-trick pony. Because he is a literal one-trick pony. Because he knows all the tricks of the trade. Because he ain't there. Well, strength sort of quickly falls apart. Because Eyes and Bet didn't realise how much they actually truly relied on him to, well, get their butts out of trouble. Even with the Vanguard. Yeah, there's a reason why they don't get into so much trouble with the Vanguard. It's all because Bell can actually put his... actually has a bit of a silver tongue, and he can actually smooth criminal his way through every single argument between Ikora and himself, Cade and Zavala. Hell, he even beat them in poker with Glimmer on the table. And he was so cocky, he put all of his saving of Glimmer on the table. And he beat Zavala, Cade and Ikora out of their own Glimmer. It got so bad, Cade bet his uniform to beat Bell. And when Cade lost, he tried to skim himself out of it, saying, no, I was just joking about the armour, about all my clothing here. Was not even going to actually do that, you know. But unfortunately, he had no choice. So people were kind of laughing at Cade because he had nothing but a towel over his mechanical junk. Although I don't think he actually needed to cover his mechanical junk because nothing there anyway. So yeah, there's a slight bit of his humanity still there. Or his human side still there, even though he's an exo. So yeah. There are popularity with the Vanguard because Bell is now no longer there. And they've got the new girl... yeah. That kind of plummeted pretty quick. So, Eyes and Bet, along with Jackie, the new warlock in their group, started falling out. Mainly because Bet and Eyes hate themselves because they are so weak, and also hate the new girl because she said she was the best in her class, and it turns out she is the weakest warlock they have ever seen. So I think you can imagine the conversation, or the argument, these three were having. Just because one warlock couldn't keep up the hype of being a warlock. She said she was good, she knew fire, she knew lightning, she knew void, she knew electricity. The point is though, she didn't know a damn thing about any of them. She only knew how to use one void bomb. She didn't know how to split a void bomb into 3. so it can impact in 3 different places, killing more enemies like Belle could. Belle was a void walker to begin with, then he turned into a the fire one? Fire thingamajiggy, whatever that super was for the warlock. Can't remember it. Was it a Star Dancer one? I think it was Star Dancer. Then there was the Storm Caller. And that's where Belle's efficiency went through the absolute rickety roof. Belle basically just masters all of them. So he's an expert in void, fire, and lightning. The 3 most best abilities in the world of Destiny. By eyes. The stasis one in Destiny 2. No. That is like literally nah. That sucks. Like major sucks for him. Well, basically just for a warlock, it just sucks. So yeah. So basically Belle, Eyes and Bet hate the new girl's guts, but they also hate themselves. But they mainly hate her because she ain't efficient enough for them. She is like the weakest warlock they could have ever picked. So this sort of gives them in a bit of bad rep with the Vanguard, especially with Ikora. As she tries to reprimand them for telling their newest warlock to virtually go and stick her nose in tons of books and don't bother coming back to them until she at least knows how to use her abilities. Little did they know that Belle actually went out and trained his abilities with another fire team long before he met them two. So they believe the books tell how to use the void powers properly, but it's actually common practice to actually go out, practice your abilities to master them, especially in combat. But with the raids they were going on, their newest companion wasn't keeping up to scratch. So basically, her usefulness wasn't basically like a wet paper towel. It could hit, but it would sting a bit, but it wouldn't put your enemy down. It would just sort of like make them sting a bit, but they'll still keep on fighting and most probably butcher your ass. The first mission they went on, they went up against the Fallen. Didn't go so well, went okay. Then they went up against the Fallen again. Okay, they had a little scuffle with the Fallen, where they got a little bit too close. And then it came to the next Fallen group. They seriously got injured. Well, Bet did. He almost lost his entire arm from the socket. If it wasn't for Eyes shooting the Fallen straight in the noggin, make his head explode with a sniper rifle. And what did this warlock do? Jack shit. And by the way, she's nothing like this. She's basically got this helmet, so I'll just stick to this image. She's basically like this. She called herself good. So they had one massive falling out session. Eyes blaming Bet blaming her then blaming the warlock, which then Bet suddenly turned around and said, "Oh yeah, it's also your fault." It's actually, no, it's not Ice's fault, it's your fault. So basically, it all came down to basically bending this one warlock over and doing her dirty, basically. They were basically all using her as a verbal punching bag. And if you all know how much it hurts to be used as a verbal punching bag, then yeah, not nice. I sure as hell know what it feels like, because I got bullied constantly at school. Verbally. Once physically. Well, quite a few times physically. I ended up coming home with a broken nose. Because somebody thought it would be a wise idea to actually start punching me 5 times in the nose. So I had a massive nosebleed and got sent home. So yeah. But obviously they didn't break her nose or anything, being physical or anything. They just verbally abused her. Or just gave her a verbal bullying. To the point where she had enough. She just walked. Eyes went home and Bet went to his house. He walked into his own house and slammed the door and locked it. Started screaming at himself, which I think everybody in the city could have actually heard, including Savala, who was a stoic man. But I think even he would start to be fuming through the earlobes of the constant stress the new fireteam member of Belle's fireteam has just put them all under. Just because their tank of a warlock weren't there. Belle's basically more of a tank than a titan. And he thought titans were strong. Belle has basically proven to everybody that a titan is only as strong as they're worth if they've actually trained. Bet has trained, yes, along with Eyes, to master some of their abilities, but not to the extent Belle has. That's why I call him Belle the Tank. I just came with that last bit, sorry. I came up with that last bit, just to sort of piss on the Titan and Hunter for a bit. Sorry if you love Hunter classes and, the Hunter class and the Titan class. I'm not throwing shade on them. I actually do play the Hunter, Titan and Warlock. I mainly play the Hunter, Titan, then Warlock. But, hey, my own personal reference. Sue me. Anyway. With Bet, screaming at himself in his own home, I think you can imagine the noise complaint from other people around town. Eyes walking into a house and just shutting the door, locking it, walks upstairs and just flops onto a bed. Well, I may need to say this. She walks into a house which she thought was hers, locks it. I know it's going to sound weird, especially if it's not actually your own home. She fully strips down, only wearing a sports bra and, sport shorts, and just flops down on a bed and putting herself underneath the covers. Little does she know that there are 2 eyes staring at her with a little bit of redness underneath a helmet. I think you can gather who that is. As Belle finally wakes up, but that's due to somebody just flopping themselves on top of him, which kind of makes him wake up because it's sort of a bit of a jolt to the system. And Ives didn't even bother taking his armour off, so Ives still doesn't know what he looks like. As Belle sort of is kind of blushing because his teammate Ives is next to him in a pair of sport shorts and a sports bra. It kind of made him a little bit okay, hello, one ticket to what the fuckery, please? As he looks directly at Eyes. As, well, let's say this. The sports bra only covered so much. He could still see quite a bit of a hefty oomph with Eyes. So the armour actually hides a lot of her figure. As Belle even mentally says to himself with his ghost reading his thoughts, as the ghost would say inside his head, Guardian, get those thoughts out of your mind. They are quite disturbing even for me. And you say you are mature. You're now saying you now are immature. As Belle would sort of say in his head again, saying, yeah, I know. Point is though, I don't want to poke the bear. She looks rather mad. I wonder what the hell happened. Guardian, you could just ask me to get in contact with Zavala. Ghost, well, Spectre, I think I'm gonna ask you to not do that just yet. I'm gonna see what the hell happened, and I'm gonna kind of lose my mind if it's so bad that Eyes most probably just wanted to sleep, and Zavala didn't let her. I'm not so dumb as to realise that everybody was clapping. Please ignore that, that's actually my mate. So, yeah. As, well, one long sleep later, with a Belle trying to get himself out of a bit of a death grip from Eyes. And I'm talking about Eyes has literally got his arm under her own chest, going around to her back, one of her own legs over one of Belle's legs, and both of her arms wrapped firmly around Belle's neck, and she is squeezing. Still not even fully waking up, even though Belle is kind of choking. As he finally hears her moaning as she starts opening her eyes to see Belle's eyes staring at her and sarcastically saying, "Good morning, again. You mind getting off? I ain't your little pack horse, if that's what you were trying to do to me." With her sort of screaming as she would shout, "Pervert!" As he would shout, one, I ain't a perv. Two, I'm not the one sleeping in their own bed. What are you doing here? Go to your own room, you weird woman. And second of all, why can't I hear the kids sniggering? His eyes sort of scratches her head with a sweat drop, saying, "Shit, how do I tell him? He has memory loss, so he has no idea that Tiberius Folder killed all the kids. Shit." With the ghost spectre popping out saying, "Guardian, did you forget that Tiberius Folder, the man you literally disintegrated because he turned into a demonic god, killed all the orphanage children from your orphanage and from quite a few others to summon this Reaper god who turned him into an abomination, and you fried his ass to nothing but floating particles." Oh. So I didn't say that then. No, Guardian, you did not. They even shut down your orphanage due to the accident. They told everybody that all orphanages are being shut down. So if you think anybody ever thinks about abandoning their children, they're going to be facing with a very, very pissed warlock if he ever wakes up. All the civilians have seen you, Guardian. You have been unconscious for 5 whole years. Yes, that's how long he's actually been out cold for. With Bell sort of scratching his head saying, shit, this is bad. This is bad, Guardian. Very, very, very bad. Yeah, Spectre, you also mind telling me where the hell am I? You might want to be asking me that. Welcome to your new home. I got myself a home too, along with Bet, and both of us kind of hate each other. Along with our no longer new warlock friend. Her name was Emma. Not Emma, Julie. Or Jackie, sorry. I get her name wrong every time. Eyes. Yeah. What new warlock named June? When you fell unconscious, we realized how significantly weaker we are compared to you. So we started training ourselves. We didn't get any better. We got worse. And our warlock friend, let's just say she didn't survive. Tell me the truth, Eyes. Okay, I'm telling you the truth. She didn't survive. She's gone. Eyes, tell me the truth before I fry your ass. With him actually sparking electricity in his hand. With Eyes backing away, saying, calm down, Belle. She's not dead. She left our group. That's what I mean by she didn't survive. With her still saying, the reason why she didn't survive is because me and Bet got so angry we were blaming each other. Then all of a sudden, I started blaming her, and Bet joined in. We both then used her as a verbal punching bag. She finally had enough, and she left us. Because I will admit, I do regret it now, said some pretty harsh things. Bet didn't really help the matter by excavating it, by saying if he ever saw her waste of space again, the waste of space which is her again, he will personally grab her ghost, tell him or her, if turns out have a name, and he or she says, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like this gender, to say, yeah, so like my personality of my guardian. He said he would grab the ghost, throw it, tell the ghost to find someone new, then kill her, because she is that much of a waste of space. Honestly, I should have told him not to do that, but we both weren't really thinking straight. So, yeah. I'm gonna die. So let me get this straight. You basically just threatened another warlock because she went to the specifications that you think all warlocks are at. Tell me I'm wrong. You're not wrong. Shit, he's actually taking this a lot better than I thought. Eyes. You ever thought that the reason why she ain't good is because she hasn't got much in the way of practice, much in the way of experience in using her powers? She is most probably recently resurrected. You two are virtually experienced, got a lot more experience, and have worked with another warlock. She most probably thought you two were the best of the best due to the legendary status that all three of us have, or more comically now, most probably had. After your little blunder confession that you just said, I would not be surprised if everybody now calls you and Bet the two worst teammates they ever have. So, I bet even Zavala is pissed, along with Cade and Ikora, because us three used to be the goddamn leagues above everybody else. And yet, here you stand, telling me the whole thing. I don't know where to be. Shocked, sad, or so mad I want to do the same thing to you like I did to Tiber Folder. Or Tiberius Folder. 5 years ago. I don't know whether to do that or just disband our team and I will go and find her and tell her I am sorry for what my team did. They only did that because they thought that you would be on my level. And I just slapped them both in the face with the truth because I trained. I got experience. I mastered my abilities, and now I will teach you on how to master it. And hopefully you can train other warlocks in the same way. And if you got another team, make sure you get them to train also so they don't depend on you. I am calm right now. I should be a lot worse than calm. Eyes. I think you get the memo. As he actually takes one step towards her, with her taking one step back. As he continues taking steps forward, as she then hits the wall and sort of starts sweating compulsively, because he still has the electricity in his hand, as he stands right in front of her and points. When I find her, And if I hear that she hates my team, well, hates you and Bet, I will personally drag you both to her for you to thoroughly apologize to her, and I will explain the exact goddamn reason of why. Because I bet she wasn't here 5 years ago. She is most probably 5 years recently resurrected. So, I'm gonna find her. And she's gonna tell me everything. And by the way, nice chest. Because I actually saw that when I was sleeping, when I woke up last night. At literal 12 at night. Honestly, I was kind of shocked, and I can feel my face still burning from that. So, get dressed. Okay, that's one way of ending a conversation. That wasn't even a conversation, it was me virtually telling you off. That was more like you were a superior officer telling a subordinate in the military to virtually bow down and kiss his boots. I could tell you to do that, and I'll just end up kicking one of your teeth out. Or kicking your teeth out. No, thank you. Right. Now, what did you say her name was? Her name was Judy. Sorry if I got the name mixed up again. Right. I'm gonna find this Judy girl. Let's see her walk out with eyes sort of looking down in shame, as she would say to herself, "Damn it, I screwed up again. Oh, I hope Bet gets the same punishment I get." And what did he mean by saw your chest and, well, you have a good chest? Wait, did he look down my bra? Pervert! Damn. First boy who actually compliments me for being me, and I immediately tell him what happened, and it was bad news instead of good news. You know, damn it, eyes. Why did you have to be so stupid? With her getting her armor on and walking out the house, she sees Bet hanging upside down again, with Belle screaming at him. Because he basically said the same thing as Eyes, and he basically got, well, the same treatment, but he was being hung upside down, and he sure as hell wasn't going to let him down. A lot of people see Belle up and around, and they all can tell, not through facial features, but through body language alone, that he is so pissed. They might as well just stay home and lock the doors, because they think that there might be another lightning bolt hitting his own teammates. But they also see Eyes as she sort of tries to stealthily get into her own home to change her equipment. Well, not her equipment to be precise, more like the black livery parts that she has on, changing them into, again, more black livery parts, but that actually smell a bit better. So she also went to have a shower at the same time. I've taken off her armour again, this time taking off her sports bra and sports shorts, and getting into the shower. Freshening up, putting on some more stuff, then putting on the black leather again, or the stuff that sort of covers her exposed body parts, and puts the armor back on. So she leaves to go back to the tower with Bet, and she sees, well, Bell sort of slamming his hand on the table with Ikora, Zavala, and Cade all kind of flinching because they laid the entire thing down as he's trying to find Jackie. As he gets told her location, as he, well, from Ikora, he storms off to go and find her. As he just breezes past his his so-called teammates, as they both don't really give him a good glance. They sort of give him a sad glance. They sort of look down in shame as he just walks past them, angry as fuck. As Ikora looks at them saying, well, it appears that he's already had a go at you two for the sheer stupidity that you have done. I don't think I need to get involved. With Cage sort of saying, oh, hang on. Revealing Cage saying, Hunter, I thought you were good, but it turns out you're just bad. With all that you've just told him, I can fully now understand why you guys don't want to get on his bad side. I've only seen him angry this once, Hunter. And you too, Titan. Ikora, Cade. I think I can speak for my fellow Vanguard members of how utterly disappointed we are in you. Not only have you dishonored yourselves, but you dishonored your own teammate and warlocks in general. A lot of people in the Vanguard classes despise you for what you have done. The Hunters don't like you anymore, Eyes Wallenstein. Sorry. And the Titans do not wish to know you as a Titan, Bet. Sorry, Zavala. Don't apologize to me. Jackie told me everything, what you said, Bet. Eyes didn't even try to stop you from saying those things. All three of us here today are so disappointed it is untrue. You now have to get on everybody's good side again. That includes your teammate, who's now just woken up from his coma for 5 years. Who's been in a coma for 5 years. We told him that she is a recent 5 years of being reborn as a warlock, and she immediately got verbally abused by her own fire team, who had should have had more experience than her. And when he said he was hoping that they would choose a new warlock and choose to get stronger altogether, but as soon as he heard what you two did from your mouth, Eyes, he is so mad, I will not be surprised if he didn't want to lay waste to you two right here, right now. He's not going to find Janet, or Jackie. He's going to train her to make sure she can hold her own against everyone. But she'll also most probably find a team, but get them to train their abilities. So, think yourselves damn lucky that we're not immediately not calling you the betrayers. You betrayed your friend, your fire teammate. You disgrace the classes you were in. The Titan class, the Warlock class. Hell, the shame even goes over to Belle, who's in the Warlock class. You all have betrayed our trust. You were our best fire team. But when Belle goes down, it's all-out war between both of you. He anchored you two together. And yet, as soon as he falls unconscious for 5 years, you two are at your own throats and your newest team member's throat. She got the worst of it. Zavala, do not try and get Zavala involved. I am talking to you two. Cade, will you get involved? No, Ikora, I will not. Zavala, are you going to get involved? No. Our guardians need to understand the folly of their ways. And who better to tell them than a warlock? Thank you, Zavala. So, what will you two do now, Pretend like nothing ever happened? And wonder why everybody's angry? Or are you going to get off your selfish asses and apologize to her? Start mending the wound you made. Although 5 years of constant bullying, that scar is going to run very deep. You've got a teammate who's now officially angry and most probably wants to quit being your fire team member. I think you lucky that he doesn't do that already and go to a different fire team who most probably appreciate his skills. He is the finest stormcaller I have ever seen. He has mastered it faster than I could have mastered it. All the other abilities, Nova, Sun, and Lightning, I am more proficient in Nova. I have dabbled a bit in Lightning and the Sun and the Fire one, but my Nova is my specialty. He is a specialist in all 3 categories. I know counts. He is a walking tank. He is a tank. And now, you all need to go and find him. He is most probably on the wall now, looking for Janet. Or for Jackie. So, if you go now, you'll most probably find him talking to her, saying he is their former fire team member. Well, he is their fire team member, their oldest fire team member, the one who fell unconscious 5 years ago to get rid of a cult when she was recently resurrected. So, she will most probably tell him everything, how much of a disappointment his team is to her. And the rest of the Vanguard, he'll most probably agree with her, saying, yes, when I went unconscious, I thought they would have been good enough to realize that they need to get stronger themselves. But no, apparently, they go and do this, and they think it's okay. So, but from now on, I will be your teacher. I will be teaching you everything I know, until I find one that you are more comfortable in. I will not be surprised if she's another lightning user. And I think I can tell you two what she's going to do first when she masters that thing completely. She is going to come for your asses faster than a lightning bolt. So I would prepare yourselves. I would train. I would try to mend the wounds that you made that quickly turned into a goddamn chasm. We Vanguard members are at the top, fuming with rage towards you two. You two screwed up badly. Now it's time for you to try and fix the damage you have done. And just to sweeten the deal, until you two have done your community service, no jobs will be going for you, for Belle, and for Bet. All three of you are doing community service. Well, you two mainly. Belle will be teaching Jackie on how to, use her abilities. And once your community service is done, you still won't be going, because you will be doing time behind bars. Savala, this is... Don't Savala me. That is Commander Savala to you. And if you don't like this deal, tough. What are you going to do? Abandon us? Once your time behind prison is done, you'll be allowed to come back out. But your time in prison will be the same length of time Belle was unconscious. 5 years. Because that's 5 years worth of damage to everybody. Belle will be teaching her for 5 years. So you better make sure that you have a lengthy apology for everyone. Because all the Guardians you have hurt and disrespected will be there throwing insults at you. Telling you how weak, pathetic, and ballsy you are to say that you were the best fire team because you had the best warlock. A warlock's only as good as his team if his team is on par. You were nowhere on par with Belle. He only put himself on par with you guys, considering your goddamn lack of skills. I may be new to the Vanguard, but at least I know good talent when there is good talent. Belle is a warlock, and he had more warlock traits and skills of a warlock to save your asses. But like he's told us, as soon as he goes unconscious for 5 years, you're at everybody's throats. And that is the end of our meeting. Dismissed. So, Savannah, let's go, Pat. Right. Let's see if we can find Belle and... I take it that Savannah and Cora with Cade have had their mutual disrespect for you guys, like I have right now. Belle, don't speak to me, Eyes. You've done so much damage. It is untrue. I found Jackie, your so-called newest warlock, in the sushi restaurant where I went to pick up our food. And she said she felt like getting her ghost, telling it to fly off, find someone else, who is most probably 10 times stronger than her. She was thinking about suicide due to the verbal abusing she got from you two. Now, I have her safely tucked away in in a building I have bought strictly for her. She will be living there, and there's a training room for her. So I will be with her most of the time, training her away from you two. The sushi place is now charging me triple the amount if I'm ever buying food for you two. But I told him, no, I'm buying food for myself and for my student now. You two, until you two make it up to everybody in the city, in this last city, will be paying triple the price. That's how disgusted the old man is with you. Jackie, she is the sweetest young girl you could ever see. She's kind, polite. Seems like she would melt the heart of even a fallen Kel. And that's saying something. She is a beauty. And I can say that because I've seen her face. She is a beauty. Damn it. What eyes? Just because I gave you a compliment to your jingers there? Get real. Until you two have figured yourselves out and pulled your fingers out of your asses and pulled your head out of the sand, thinking that you're all high and mighty, and then obviously do the damage you've done, we ain't even a fire team anymore. If there's any missions for a fire team to do, I think I'll be joining one. Zavala said even you won't be having missions. Yeah, I know, he already told me. That's why I slammed my hand on the table. Which is most probably, the indent is still there. Eyes. Bet. I know you don't have to shut up, you old worthless bag of bolts. Bell, shut up. Both of you are now doing your community time. First thing you're doing, collecting all the garbage. Chop chop. Oh, and by the way, 5 years in prison? Welcome to hell. The garbage you're going to be doing is for 5 years. Then you're going to be spending 5 years in prison. So we're going to be in prison for 10 years. So basically, community service, 5 years. And then prison for 5 years. So technically, we're going to not be able to do anything for 10 years. So, Bet does have a brain that actually works in there. And I doesn't, apparently. This is insane. No. Justly deserved. All the Guardians get to laugh and mock us all now. You guys weren't the best in the bunch. I was. I saved your asses more times than I can count, showing my real power when I need to. When I get angry, my anger fuels my abilities. So, when Lily died, that's when you saw my full power when it's truly unleashed. If I charged my ability up long enough, half a continent could be wiped out. But if I focus it, I can wipe out one single target, with enough force to even shatter the crust of the earth. I'm surprised I didn't do that when I fried his ass. And you two damn well know who I am talking about. Now, because I've got a training session to get to. As, well, Bell would walk off. With even Lord Shax sort of whistling, saying, Anybody getting a little bit hot in here? Because I think a Titan and a Hunter just got burned by that former teammate. The Crucible is off limits to you two, so don't bother coming to me. Damn, we really screwed up. Yes, we did. Let's go. Heads down low in shame. The walk of shame. We walk a lonely road now. It's the only one we have ever known. Where the city sleeps. On the boulevard of broken dreams. And shattered promises. I don't think that went with the song. Too late to put it in there. Because we virtually did do this to ourselves. Indeed. We're both so goddamn stupid. And foolish. Zavala? Apparently Bill told them that they're going to be doing the garbage for 5 years. Then be going to prison for 5 years. Seems even worse. I think it's just. Have them do physical work for 5 years. Then go to prison for 5. All the time the Guardians get to boo them for being so stupid. They get to do whatever they want. And they can't even fight back. Yeah. I wonder how well they'll last. Not very long. If they finally realize their stupidity. True. Did we also get any info about the Fallen's new weapon? My spies, my hidden agents say that the Fallen have created it. There are unexpected side effects though. Like what? Well, when they try to imitate the Vex teleportation, when they teleport themselves, they turn into, mush. They virtually turn themselves into gloop. My agents have scanned the Fallen body when they tried it. Their organs vaporized. Their skeletal structure vaporized. It's nothing but dead meat and skin with eyes and what remains of a brain. Gross. Indeed. What will happen if it touches a Guardian? No idea. I told my hidden agents not to get too close. Yeah, well, that seems like a better option than anything else. Head to see what happens. If they ever get their act together and finally realize that they seriously screwed up, we'll send them on that mission to prove that they have learned. Who? Eyes, Bet, and Jackie? No. Eyes, Bet, and Belle. Belle I trust. My own Hunter I do not. Bet needs to earn my trust again. And if they come back from this, then they've learned. But if they do not come back, and Belle's the only one to come back, that is, unharmed, then they have not learned at all. Agreed? Agreed. Agreed. So, that's actually where I'm ending it, guys. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. See you all in the next one. Peace, basically.